isn't any feeling or any sensation that something is being missed out on suffering? Isn't that suffering? People talk about enlightenment in different cultures as different. They have different words for it: self-realization, enlightenment, samadhi, and all these different words that point to a state. And it's a state where, yeah, basically there's no you and then something else. There's just it. There's just you. So it's really like, what are you, or what are we, or what am I? Is the beginning of the inquiry. And I think the modern day treasure hunt has become the fear of missing out, because all these screens show us everything, so we become aware of everything. So it's it's the information age, and so much information, and we're tapped into this social, to the collective, to the we relate to society through our upper kind of quadrant. It's a psychic, it's a social, mental plane of connecting to the collective, to the other reference points in the web of what has become the whole, aka society. It's like looking at one's position and saying, oh, because I'm here, I can't be over there. And not even that I can't be over there, but I definitely can't be over there. And both of those places are way better than where I'm at right now. So one's position starts to become, it's not one's position becomes void of experience, or void of, you stop being there, you stop being here, and you start being somewhere else out there, because it's like you've identified where you're at is undesirable. You've identified somewhere else as where you'd rather be, so your current point of reference diminishes in value. And not just value, but vibrational equity, vibrational density, literally, in your mind's ability to identify with one place or one node of many nodes of reference. You identify this one place as actually the big problem of it, and that's you. You've not identified you as the problem. You've identified yourself as the reason in itself that you can't be happy, or that you can't be whole. And you see people out there in the world, and they're living life, and they're happy, and they're doing their dreams, and it's like America gave way to this modern platform of entrepreneurship and capitalism, where the modern man can become self-realized by achieving and striving, and not that that's all that there is. You can achieve and strive with the same mindset that you had when you're 10 years old, and maybe your lesson doesn't come till you're 80, but it's the modern process, it's the modern format, creating and achieving and getting what's inside outside. So to get something that's inside outside is really, you have to reflect what's inside outside. You have to get it out, you have to excavate. But it's like, so what are we missing out on? What's somewhere else that's better than we currently are at? What's better? So I'm here where I grew up basically as a kid. I grew up at this property until I was 10 years old. This cabin thing was not there. That building was here. That was where horses were. This whole thing was like a big horse pen. And we had 2 horses, like a vanilla one and a chocolate one named Magic and Cookie. This was right here. This whole thing is like, call it the pole barn. It used to be basketball hoops at the end of this big cement slab right here. When I was a kid, I really wanted to be like a professional rollerblader, so I got ramps at a certain point. And then we had a house that was like on MTV Cribs that I would be standing at the front door of right now, but it's just grass. Because I remember this tree, this section of trees right here. And then there was like yeah, this would have been the front door right here. And then this lake was back there. And now it's just dirt. But this tree fort that I made, I don't know if you see, oh yeah, it's over there. Yeah, there. The tree fort I made with hammer and nails is still standing, but this house isn't standing. And it's a trippy experience because it's like my mind is using this place as a reference point for who I think I am, for who I have identity stored in a geographical location. And then I go to that geographical location and I'm not there, so then I can't find myself outside of myself. And there's this experience of like, yeah, emptiness, void. And there's like, it's like you look at somebody and you're trying to like get them to realize something just by looking at them, and they just meet you with this just a blank stare. And so you look back at yourself internally and you're like, is something on my face? Am I not doing something right? You're asking for the outside world to tell you who you are. And that can't happen. Because the outside world doesn't contain the information that is you. The outside world doesn't contain the DNA. The outside world doesn't contain... All the outside world does is contains reference points in geography and in time. And in time serves as the medium at which we're like planting seeds of ourself in the world. I find myself doing that with people. I mean, I feel like everybody's like, what am I talking about? Oh, you're just overanalyzing the human experience. It's like, yeah, but there's viruses in the code. That's why. There's viruses in the code. I used to do this exact same shit when I was a kid. This is pretty much where I grew up till I was 10. And there was a pool right there in the shape of a guitar, not up in the trees. There was a pool. Yeah, right there. And the house was all right there. And yeah, that's the experience. It's like you can't help but ask yourself, am I going crazy? But you know it's not crazy. Crazy is like, I'm not losing my sound state of mind. Solid state drive, where the information is stored. Upsetting the process at which the information has been stored prior, because there's now a recognition that the information can be stored in a more efficient way. Ultimately, I think that's what it boils down to. Is you put the memory card in put the memory card in the slot, and it says that you don't have any more memory in that spot. You got to make a decision of you want to clear this drive, you want to transfer, what do you want to do? Life presents you with these moments, and it says you have to evolve now. You have to grow from this point. You can't be like this anymore. That's what life says. Life presents you with these moments and these events, and it says you can't do that anymore. If you do, you'll experience dis-ease. And it's referring to your posture. It's referring to, and this is where I'm trying to tie it all in, because it's complicated, but it's simple, because these chakras are just energy centers that we're reflecting our experience back at the world through. Cerebral, psychic plane, thought plane, vision, imagination, heart, emotion, connection, green, identity, yellow, orange, well, I guess orange, identity, yellow, all this orange, and then the root where it's really just rooted in. And the sexuality seems to have so many people hooked. And sexuality's affects everybody. We all got here through sex. We all came out of a vagina, some which way. Or a C-section, I guess. And so we're flapping our wings. Where are we going? If you're watching this and you're like, hey, I'm fucking happy as shit, what are you talking about? Well, then this is not for you. This is me talking from my place of existential, not crisis, but dilemma. Dilemma's fair to say. And just inquiry, just life presents you with opportunities to evolve. How you respond to those opportunities defines your life. If you don't grow when life says grow, you tense up and your body literally starts to go and you clam up. One clams up. I clammed up. I started holding all this shit in my left trap, and it like went down from the back of my head down into this like muscle right here, which is like the top of the neck, into the trap, and then back down to my shoulders, my rhomboids, and then all the way down to my heels. And I'm finding new awareness of my body through this yoga practice, and I'm realizing my body is a mirror from my psychosomatic emotional self. My emotional identity, my mental identity is in my physical identity. I got any problems or any issues in my physical world, those same issues are manifesting on other planes of my existence. This is moon theory in a nutshell. Is that everything is a reflection of everything else. That there's only one thing happening, and it's you. And whatever your identity is, it's happening on all aspects of you. I remember sitting on this fence mad times. I had this picture of me and my brother sitting right here. I had a basketball. Like, oh, these basketball hoops aren't there. And I'm not that kid anymore. People look at pictures of the childhood and, oh, I remember this. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, God, that shit, oh, damn, it's like implications. Those implications of this time period, the implications of how I was smiling in that moment, where I was, where my consciousness was in this picture. It's still the same thing. And so there's the question, like, when do I wake up from this thing? When do I wake up from this dream? Is it a slow, lurking forward movement? Or can I bring it about radically? Like J. Krishnamurti says, a radical awakening, a radical shift in consciousness in how we perceive ourselves. Now I got the hiccups. So what are you missing out on? What do you think that you're missing out? What do you think that you're missing out on? What do you think is happening that you aren't experiencing? What cool party is going on that you're not at? Who's more important than you in your experience? What's trending that you didn't get tagged on? What post got, who posted what that you felt left out on? And so then it's, well, where do our actions stem from? Where do our actions root from? Where are we making our choices from within us? Then you just gotta tune it up and address the energy centers. Are the roundabouts distributing traffic into the nearby areas as efficiently as possible? And that's all there is. In as many words, but you're not missing out on anything. If you think you are, then go get that. And go get something else. And then you'll end up chasing things for the rest of your life. So what are you chasing?